welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point. PL Culture in the house, Tasha T. Sizzle in the house. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest from the Our Take podcast. We'd like to welcome Mr. Torrance T. Double Thompson in the house. Good morning, sir.
Well, good morning. How are you?
Oh, no, customer service. Really, we're doing customer service for us today?
Not on a Saturday. Not on a Saturday.
This is how we start. It doesn't stay here.
Okay, all right. So this is you just coming in and sitting down at the first chair available, like you were raised. Okay.
Correct.
So well, take off your shoes, walk on through the house like Tasha do. You only guess for a few minutes, but before we get started and before Tasha kind of weighs in on what she's wearing today, and we get into some crazy sports topics I'm dying to get y'all's thoughts on. Every first time guest has to play a game that we call this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And today's your day. So the object of this game, I'm going to give you two choices. You can only choose one. Are you ready to play?
Sure.
All right. First up, ranch or hot sauce?
Neither.
That's not an answer.
Oh, then we got to go to hot sauce. That's easy. That's
what
easy.
I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. No white cream in your mouth, TT.
Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Private yacht or private plane?
Plane. Can't get a brother on the boat no more. I don't do that. I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina. We had to swim. The ocean was right there. So yeah, we know how to swim. Just don't get on the boat.
Okay, all right.
Now y'all see why I love this man.
Okay. Bill Cowher or Mike Tomlin?
Oh, Mike Tomlin.
They both only got one ring.
Yeah, but
neither one of them maximized.
But you know both of their names, don't you?
I do. All right.
It's always a hater. It's always a hater.
I'm just asking the question. Next up, Asia Wilson, Dawn Staley.
Dawn Staley.
No love for Asia?
I love Asia, but she made Asia. She's the one who got Asia to the point she was, and we get other people in that same level. So yes, you got to go to the original, the foundation.
Next up, MJ or Mr. 50,000, Mr. Honda Accord, Mr. Toyota Camry, Mr. Do It All, Be It All, Mr. Year 23, Mr. LeBron James.
And I can't choose nothing else between the two of them, huh? It has
really?
You can't choose one between the two of them.
You can only choose one.
I prefer Kareem, but MJ would be my choice in the two. It'd be Mike. I don't think I'm making any points with Paul over here for real.
No, I'm just observing.
I'm struggling over here.
Give me your wife's full name, because I'm getting ready to fly y'all out here. Y'all gonna get flued out because you gave all the correct answers.
Next up, Magic or Kobe?
Magic. I love Kobe with Magic.
Last but not least, Cash Money or No Limit?
Cash Money.
They had more longevity.
Tasha, do you agree? Cash Money, No Limit? I'm gonna bring you in on that one.
I mean, to be honest, No Limit. That was just a time. Like, you had to be there for No Limit. If they would have had a longer, maybe more cultured artists, a longer longevity like Cash Money. But man, Cash Money had a lineup, boy. They had a lineup.
Now Cash Money. I'll say Cash Money because I'm a big Lil Wayne fan. So Cash Money had what Drake, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj. They had bigger. We talking
before those last two. We talking about Cash Money and No Limit when it was Cash Money.
Oh, that's No Limit by a landslide. If we're not counting Drake and Nicki Minaj, it's not even. And then if you throw Snoop in the Snoop's No Limit run with Mystical and all of them, Mia X, Silk the Shocker. Nah,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you're going for a certain time frame, it's them No Limit soldiers. But if you're talking about, endurance, longevity, it's Cash Money. Because No Limit, man, look, Got Silk there, Female, Mama there, P there. Come on, man.
So the difference is you're talking about new edition of the Temptations. Cash Money's new edition, longevity. You got some people who break out solo and then they bring other people in. That's what that is. Versus the Temptations, where you keep bringing people in and then they become stars. You can get a Dennis Edwards and do this thing on this. That's what you're looking at between the two. I'm a new edition fan.
I like that. You cooking this morning, my brother. All right. Now, who else was cooking last night was those Blue Jay bats, especially in that 6th inning. 9-run inning, 11-4. World Series game 1 goes to the old Canadas. Tasha T. Sizzle, your thoughts on game 1?
Look, all I got to say is shout out to my boy Addison Barger. First pitch hit grand slam in World Series history. As long as the World Series been going on, the first. When I tell y'all I was in here screaming, but it started off with the most soulful rendition of "Oh Canada" that I've heard in years. You had Nikki Yaskowski, who did it for the Winter Olympics, and you had Tamia that did it for the NBA All-Star game. They had a whole choir. They was out there in robes and everything, and it was thumping.
Was that Pharrell out there? I saw.
No.
There wasn't Pharrell out there conducting? Okay, all right. So do you see this being foreshadowing? Does Toronto get off the schneid?
Well, what I told one of my friends who he used to play a little minor league baseball. Shouts out to Chemo. That's his name, Chemo, y'all. I'm serious. His name is Chemo.
I was going to shout out to Chemo, too.
And we were, he was texting me back and forth during the game. And I said, I hope this is not a case of the bats got too hot and then they cool off.
We shall see, but a very impressive start. Torrance, do you have any action on the World Series? Any emotional ties?
Well, actually, no. I wasn't even watching it. Before it started, I did pick Toronto to win it. Listen, I don't have a dog in this fight right now. Listen, I'm a Pirate fan, so it had been 1979 since the last time I really cared about baseball in a sense, and then Barry Bonds left me in the early 90s, so we don't even have a conversation. But what I did notice is I don't think Tasha is going to be one of the best. I'm just afraid that if Toronto wins his first couple of games, it's over, because neither one has a bullpen. So if they can score early in every game, they will win a game. But can they stop Los Angeles? But Los Angeles got some pitchers that can go 9 innings. So in those games, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers. But if the bullpen has to come in, I'm going with Toronto. But I'm sad I missed that opening Old Canada. I wouldn't understand what they were saying, but
it's in English.
I know it's in English, but I don't listen to it. So I mean,
right, just saying with that.
No,
he told you this is America, Jack.
We ain't finna disrespect, but like
if you had Tamia out there, I'm just staring at her the whole time. That's the problem I would be having.
What's up to Tamia?
But that was Chemo's point when you said about up the pitchers. He texted me and he said he thinks the rest is going to be an issue because the Dodgers have been off.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Jays just got back in this thing, and he was worried about the pitchers and not getting enough rest with those arms. But as long as those bats keep the click, 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 clickety clacking,
I think they're going to need them to continue to clickety clack, because when you start throwing out the names Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, they have people that can get it done in a hurry. However, Toronto is a different type of beast, and there's a little thing called momentum. The momentum. Whichever you said, you better not lose game 2, LA. You better not lose game 2. I don't think who's your Vladdy is going to give up a 2-game lead. All right, let's move on to some college football. Torrance, we're going to go into your neck of the woods, the SEC, where the University of Florida has fired head coach Billy Napier.
Mm-hmm.
7 games into his 4th season, he finishes with an overall record of 22-23 and 12-16 in SEC play. We're going to run this just like we did last week about Penn State and James Franklin. First question, do you agree with the midseason move?
Yes, because it was going to happen. They said this was going to happen regardless. They won, and they fired this dude. So you knew they were going to do this. They beat
Mississippi State, though.
They're an SEC school.
First of all, ain't gonna be no clanger slander. It was that quarterback's fault that they lost. Because how do you throw an interception? You was already in field goal range, and then you throw an interception, and the game was over.
Robert.
Wow. There's a little emotion about those cowbells going on around.
Welcome to the extra point.
Well, the thing is, TT, I paid a lot of money at that university for my child.
No slander. My fault.
No, it's gonna be slander. We keep it real. We keep it a buck.
But I agree with this one. This had to get over with it soon enough. This stuff's been going on for like 2-3 years in Florida. It had to end eventually. And if they're not going in a direction as a positive direction, why are you keeping them? Plus, this opens up for a chance for whomever you want to come in here, and you can now get all your NIL money together to get that coach in there, who you want. So it makes no difference. Is Napier going to make you better during the season? Or are you just going to be waiting to be 6 and whatever or 4 and whatever at the end of the year to fire? What difference would it make at this point?
Jump in, Tosh.
TT, I'm glad you said that. I was watching College Game Day this morning, and the topic of discussion was you used to use, how now the boosters and the ones who are paying for the NIL are the ones who are determining whether or not a coach gets fired, because they won't send that money to said player until you get rid of said coach. And they also brought up the point of, and I don't agree with 98% of the shit Pat McAfee says, but he had a point. He said usually, when you would get that money, it would go to a new practice facility, a new stadium, a new this or a new that. All of that money is going straight into the students now, to the athletes. That is your recruiting tool now. But they're not going to keep paying and giving money for a lackluster product. And I can't blame them, because if I was in a position to say, hey, here goes this money, and this is what you're putting out there, I'm going to pull my money out too.
So you're agreeing with doing it mid-season with Torrance?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess my question is, if you didn't have championship aspirations, or maybe you did, I didn't hone in on Florida that closely to start the season. I don't think they were ranked in the AP top 25 in the preseason poll. What was your expectation this year?
But the thing is, everybody gets out here and of course says it's championship, national championship. But in reality, I think a lot of these teams just want to be viable. Mm-hmm. And I really believe that, because if you're spending $19 million on a quarterback, but you ain't got no O-line, you ain't got no wide receivers, you ain't got no defense, are you really trying to win? Or are you just wanting your name out there? Goes to Mike's point when he asked the question, does Penn State want to win championships, or do they just want to be relevant?
Well, I've been watching Florida for a couple of years because I have no choice in the matter of what we do. And last year he was dead to rights. And all of a sudden he made a run at the end of the season, winning games they wasn't supposed to win. And all of a sudden the excitement came back. And they took that excitement coming into this year. And now the quarterback's another year in. He's got more experience, and we're going to win. And it's not happening what they thought. And listen, we're not going to go through another year of this. Yes, you had that big run at the end of the year to save your job, but what you doing with it after that? And that's where they were sitting at. So they were like, you know what? This ain't going to make no difference. Let's go ahead and get rid of him now, and let's see what happens.
Torrance, you just said that you've been following them a couple of years then, so you'll be qualified to answer this. What went wrong?
It's SEC. And basically, it's not – okay, this is what I do. I'm a South Carolina fan. We have certain ambitions that we know in South Carolina. We want to be something. We just know we're not going to get there because we don't have a history. Florida has a history, and you can't come into something and not provide or add on to with that history and build on and whatever. That's what the problem was. He didn't do that. If he'd have come in and got to the playoffs for 1 year, too, he still had his job. He would have been there because he's building on. What has he proven and what has he done since he's been there? And that's the problem that they're having. They're like, we're Florida. There's no way in the world we should not be winning these games. What are you thinking? Who are you? So that's the problem with Florida. That's the problem with a lot of SEC schools. So,
Tasha, to piggyback on what he just said, does the rapid ascent of the Vanderbilts, the Ole Misses of the world, the resurgence of Texas A&M, put even more of a spotlight on the woes of Florida football?
Well, like we said, the good old days are over. The good old days are over because of transfer portal, because of NIL. college football, and you, Mike, and I talked about this when all of this first came about. College football is never going to be the same because of those two entities. And, you know, interesting point about Vanderbilt, you know, we talked about James Franklin last week. James Franklin laid the blueprint for all of Vanderbilt's success, and you can agree with me or not. But he made Vanderbilt believe if you know, that they can win. And now it's if we can get these players, I know we can win. Because when have we ever, in our lifetime, all of our lifetime, when has Vanderbilt ever been anything to talk about? Never. And now they talking about Pavia being a Heisman, you know, a Heisman contender now.
I think that's more about default. But we can broach that another day. But he is. He's in the hot. He would be in New York right now.
But what we were saying was now it's not, oh, I want to go to Bama because I want to win a national championship. Everything is spread out because the money is there. At the end of the day, it's always been about the money. But usually it was, I'm going to get this money when I'm done playing because I'm going to go to the league.
Right on. Good morning, Melanie Taylor. Now, Farrah jumps in with an interesting point here, and then I want to get y'all's thoughts on it. She says, SEC schools don't know how to lose. They just fire. You can't work through anything. No slumps, no nothing. Torrance, you're frowning. What say you?
First, I love that person who's shouting that out there. I like her first. I'm just going to say that.
She's all right. She does all right for herself.
But this is a new idea. We used to let people lose. We used to try to build programs, but this is not the era we're in. We're watching that with Clemson. We're literally watching it with Clemson right now. We're watching what's happening. You can't do this. You can't go through certain things because the money's out there. You can pay a player. You can bid the player. You can change your program within one season. That's the problem we have. And so, yes, you're right. No, there's no building a program slumping. You know, you get 3 to 4 years, and if you are not ascending in those 3 or 4 years, you're out because somebody else is going to come in because more money's coming in.
It's win now. That's the way society is as a whole now. It's win now. Be seen now. Get everything you can get right now.
Tasha, we saw this play out in real time up in A Square, where Harbaugh bolts after winning a national championship, and Sharon loses 3 of his first 6 games, and it's like, get this Negro out of here. Mm-hmm. He had to beat Ohio State. He had to beat Alabama. He had the money whip to get Bryce Underwood there, and even after that USC loss, go look at them comments under those Michigan posts.
It was Mr. I don't see color. Get your least famous recipe and get out of here.
Get your ass out of here. And this is Michigan. We talk the same coach. And if he doesn't go through 6-0 when Harbaugh got suspended for half that 2023 season, you don't get a national championship. He hasn't lost to Michigan State. He hasn't lost to Penn State. He hasn't lost to Ohio State. They was like, I don't give a damn. You just lost to USC. Get out of here. It's to y'all's point. It's a totally different beast now. You don't get, to Farrah's point, you don't get a slump. A slump. You're going to be slumped.
Slumped over in the unemployment line, hanging in a child line.
Right. Good times. Ain't no good times down in Gainesville right now. Now, Farrah, leave Vanderbilt basketball court alone. Now, I don't know why they decided to do that and put the end lines. I don't know why they did that and why it's sitting up like a Broadway play instead of a regular court. I don't know why they did that, but we're gonna give Vandy some grace today because they got College Game Day there, and it was a good turnout. And they booed Saban, and then Saban he pandered to the audience, and now they cheering Saban. So a good day.
Somebody had a sign in there, hired Saban to coach the Titans.
I'm down with. Hey, Torrance, what you doing tomorrow? Can you make it to Indy at about 3:30?
No, I'm headed to Pittsburgh. I got a game late that evening. I would be interested in
about that game later in the evening. Now, last thing on this. Now, Florida is rumored to be hot on the trails of one Mr. Lane Kiffin. Last I saw, rumored to offer him $81 million to leave Ole Miss. Now, let me ask both of you this, and Tasha, we'll start with you first. You're Lane Kiffin. You're an agent sitting around doing your lines of coke. Got your strippers out, whatever it is Lane Kiffin does during his downtime, because I'm sure it involves cocaine and strippers.
Well, he's a single man now. Holler at me, Lane. If you
can you snip coke off a schlong, Tasha? Because you might actually get in. I digress. So, Torrance, this is what you signed up for. You've seen this show before. So, Torrance, and you up next. You in the batter's box. Tasha, Florida's on the line, 81 million. Oh, Penn State on line 2. I got you 82 million. And Ole Miss is like, you got a top 5 program and a chance to win a national championship here. Where do you do? Where do you go?
The thing is, Florida is an easier selling point. And remember, I said it's all about the conference alignment. Florida has the better weather. And I really think somebody, if it is a Lane Kiffin, Lane can get you what you want and what you need. And it would be easier for him to do that in Florida than at Penn State.
Torrance?
You probably can find better coach in Florida than you find in Penn State first. I'm just going to say that. If you're going to be sniffing, you're going to get a better connect in Florida than you would probably be up in Happy Valley. Maybe that's just me.
It ain't happy for no reason.
but when you set this lineup, I was thinking about which one's the better job, which one's blah, blah, blah. But then that came out that Florida is willing to offer $81 million, 13.5 a year.
Come on now.
Here's my question. Have we heard Penn State offering anybody what they would want to do? No, we have not.
But Torrance, if you're willing to pay $50 million to get rid of a dude, how much are you willing to bring in a dude you want?
Well, you're going to have to pay a certain amount. But the point is, did you say what you want? Florida stepped up and said what I want and what the value of my job is. Boom, right here, what you want to do. And Penn State sitting there like, well, we might want a coach from Nebraska who's friends with the AD, or we might want such and such. Don't tell me what you might want. You're Penn State. If you are that program, if you that, why you ain't stepping up and say, I want this, and this is what I'm willing to pay. Do you want me or do you not? That's my bottom line.
It would be easier to win at Penn State also than it would be at Florida, I think.
Tasha, to your point, and I'm wavering on this back and forth, but to your point, James Franklin had how many years?
But
Florida ain't giving you that kind of time to not win no championship.
That kind of time. But remember, we just said James Franklin just couldn't win the games he needed to win. And this is a win now era, and we keep saying this. Florida, SEC, period. I say this all the time, and a certain somebody gets mad. SEC is the best football conference. I don't care what conference wins the championship. SEC overall has a better brand and quality of football. So you're going to have to win. Even as competitive as it is, you have to win in the SEC.
You got to. In Florida, in Florida, you definitely have to win.
A school like Penn State, like you said, look how long Franklin's leash was. You can still be middle of the road and be successful at Penn State, but you can't be middle of the road and be in Florida. It's not gonna happen.
And we want to say good morning to a couple of pretty ladies. One, good morning, Stephanie Coulter, and good morning to the lady of the day, the birthday girl, AP Coulter, checking in. I believe she turned 21 today, y'all. I think she's old enough to have a glass of vino. So welcome to the legal drinking age, AP Coulter. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Can't wait to see your face after the show. Now, Melanie says, I missed last week's show, but did y'all discuss James Franklin? What happened? Where might we see him next? Either one of you two, jump in, because these are connected.
Like I just said, Melanie, he didn't win the games that he was supposed to win.
Then he started losing the games he wasn't supposed to lose.
Yeah, then they started losing. Like, how are you losing some of these games? He wasn't winning against ranked opponents. He wasn't beating the Michigans. He wasn't beating the Fuckeyes. And that leash just got you.
Where might we see him next, Torrance?
Missouri. You see how this pull out of that? Because what's going to happen is he's going to get a job from somebody who left to go to either Florida or Penn State, because he's a big name such and such. So wherever that person disappears to, they're going to pick up Franklin, because Franklin is a winner in whatever conference he in. Now back to what Tasha said, is it easier to win in the SEC? No, but you don't have to win as much. See, the thing is, if you at Penn State, you got to win 10, 11 games to get into that playoff and beat one of those other two people. If what you're going to learn in the next year or two, when they got 12 and expanded 16, you can win 7, 8, 9 games in the SEC, because they're going to recognize how depth that conference is and how deep it is.
That's warranted.
And and you can push. So you can still lose to your Alabamas and lose to your South Carolinas one and still make the playoffs because what's going to happen is they
Don't try to
recognize the
bring
toughness.
South Carolina in there.
You heard that.
Nobody losing to South Carolina.
Like,
Don't do that. I saw that.
Is the Missouri coach's name? What's his name? Drinkwitz or something
Drinkwitz,
like that.
yeah. Mhm.
Is it who's talking about like hiring him away from Missouri?
Nobody. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying because that's going to be one of the leading candidates for Penn State. They're going to look at how he built the program, versus the dude at Nebraska. I'm looking at names like that who's going to take the job. Maybe the SMU job.
Maybe like Adam Shelton.
Maybe the SMU job because that dude's going to get a job. Lashley, who's killing everybody, in ACC, who has not lost a regular season ACC game since he's been there, which is amazing. His name going to jump up in one of those programs, and Franklin going to take one of those jobs and rebuild the program and sit there and win. And Penn State going to be like, what happened? He ain't got his stuff. He ain't got to play those other Ohio States and those Michigans. And there you go. South winning for you there.
You had to clear your throat when you said that.
You really did. You're really trying to get the Gamecocks into the.
Don't get zapped. Don't get zapped up out of here.
It was choking me, but that's what's going to happen. So, that's why I picked Missouri. That's why I picked it. He's going to get one of those jobs. And he's going to move on and win, but we'll see what happens.
Now, shouts out to Soul on Sports Checking in. He says James Franklin is not a championship coach. He's that employee that gets all meets on his evaluation, never exceeds the standard 3% increase is what he's talking about. No promotions. And corporate America, y'all wrong for that. We can't even give 4%.
What about Sark, Jarrell? Oh, let me guess. Y'all went to the playoffs last year, so he's safe.
No, the thing is, really, Sark gonna have to stop wearing those all white jumpsuits because there's gonna be a little shit stain in the back. He lose to Georgia.
That's no Sark slander because y'all know I like that brother's get that.
Tasha,
he likes you too.
Good morning, Miss Hastings. We got Black Girl Magic in the house. See, T, you bringing all the girls to the yard. Okay, we see you, T. They came out the bushes when they seen you on here. F Sark, if you don't win. We just talked about that with Napier, with Sharon Moore, who don't lose today, Sharon. Don't lose.
If you lose today, they gonna stop you on that short bus ride from Lansing back to A squared, and your shit gonna be when they take your shit off the bottom of that bus, they gonna say, "Here's your car waiting for you. Go on get."
Y'all just take me out the chat if we lose tonight up in East Lansing. Just take me out the chat. Cause
no.
I ain't got nothing for you. All right, he's gone. All right, like Tasha said, you ain't gonna be no pumpkin patch, no jack-o'-lantern, no nothing. You out of here. So that's the kind of pressure that these current coaches are under. Good stuff, good conversation. Okay, we see you getting lubed up. You done warmed up the hoop. Then you ready to get on the highway? I'm gonna talk still.
Lubed up. What you?
Tasha,
I'm sorry.
Cars, Tasha. Men talk about cars. All right.
All I heard was lube. That's all I heard.
The fact that that's all you heard out of a whole diatribe is very telling. That's the happy birthdays continue to pour in. Make sure y'all continue to shower AP with the happy birthday wishes. I love me some her. Now you love you some Pittsburgh, right?
Every day. Down to the Steeler tattoo that we won't show. We won't ever show that, but yeah.
What?
The Steeler tattoo down to it. It's there. So
it ain't on the small of your back, is it?
No, it's right there. Now, I don't know. I don't put that on the small of the back. That's necessary. There's no stamps here.
You put something on the small of the back.
well, that's another podcast.
That's another podcast. Got a couple of questions about this Sunday night matchup, which, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers faces his old team. The Green Bay Packers is coming to the big ketchup bottle to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Sunday night matchup.
It's not Heinz Field anymore.
It's the ketchup bottle. It's still the shape.
It's not called Heinz Field anymore.
It don't matter.
It does. I mean, it's the red zone, the ketchup zone, and the 20-yard. We still give it that, but it's a different name.
Right, because the last time I saw the game last week, it was still red in the red zone, the ketchup zone.
Is it Acrisure?
It's Acrisure now, yes.
I don't care if it's ketchup, mayonnaise, sour cream, cheddar cheese. Still ain't won no playoff game. The expiration date is gone on that perishable. But let's get back to Sunday's game.
How can somebody who can't even keep the grocery store open talk about what's in the grocery store? I don't even understand that
Torrance,
concept.
Did you see the 2019 through 2022 Titans? They were winning playoff games. I know you was watching them because wasn't nothing else on.
You want me to remember the Titans?
Nicely done. Remember the Titans. Now,
remember the Titans.
we can do that. We can talk. We can do college. We can do pro. Okay. But anyway.
Well, if I say college, I'm gonna bring women's basketball in. So that's what we gonna do. So it's always supposed to win a national championship.
Look, Michigan women's basketball is sorry, so I identify as a Vols fan because of Fathead Summit. Okay,
let's move on.
Let's do that. Are you surprised how eerily quiet Rodgers has been this season?
No, the dude's old. The dude is two things I know about him. He's really confident and he's really petty. Those are the two things we all know about this young man. And right now he's confident because he knew he was going to be healthy. It was going to be 2 years and get that Achilles back. And he knew if he was going to play, this is what he was going to do. That's that confidence. What does he got to talk about? And all you got is a coach who can keep you quiet. Okay, we're going back to the fact that this coach shuts people up. Your boy AB is a prime example. He didn't say nothing in Pittsburgh to walk out the door. You didn't hear nothing about all this young. Tom was like, shut up, dog. This is not what we do here. Everybody talks after they leave Pittsburgh. Nobody talks in Pittsburgh. So when you expect this dude who respects the coach that's going to open his mouth, all he's going to do is play ball. And that's all he's been doing.
Are you saying that there's a reverential fear? And Tasha, I'm asking you this because you're not in approval. A reverential fear that Rodgers has of Mike Tomlin?
I don't necessarily think it's fear. It's kind of what Torrance said. It's a level of respect. And also, Coach Tomlin, Coach ABOB ain't gonna play with you because that's the first thing I said. I said when Lyron gets there, I said all that shit talking he was doing in the past, Tomlin ain't going for that. And I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that Rodgers is confident and he's healthy. ABOB ain't going for that shit.
But I think my coach also respects the dude enough that he knows what this dude has done. Has been a fan of this dude the whole time and lets him be himself, but you don't be yourself outside of my parameters. You can do whatever you want to do, but in my window, this is what we do. But you think his
ass is in training camp. He wasn't nowhere chewing shrooms and shit because ABOB wasn't going to look, hey, bro, come and let me holler at you real fast. Now, I know what you have done over there in East Rutherford. I know what you did up there in Green Bay. That shit don't fly down here.
All we want you to do is be a quarterback and win. We don't have, you're not an AB, you're not an athletic director, you're not bringing people in, you're not paying people. Which we want you to do the one thing you did when you got out of college. Be a quarterback and do the best thing, the thing that you do best. And that's what happened. Dude has 14 touchdowns, nobody's talking about it. I think the league is 17, dude got 14.
If you got to show up in the tunnel walk with that pinstripe suit you had on for 18 days while you was waiting to get drafted, that's the Lyron Rodgers we need.
He has been quiet and efficient. He has made plays when they were there to be made. It wasn't his fault that they lost to Cincinnati. But I'm just okay. Okay, hold on. That's Melanie checking in. She says, "Okay, T-Double got to be cool." I see those symbols behind him. Ooh, ooh.
She said she's seen them other ones that wouldn't belong to the wife, but there's stuff up there. So sorry,
CT Dub. I told you, we ain't gonna call it a milkshake. We're gonna call it
a man shake.
No, your man shake is bringing all the girls to the yard. It's a very good development here at the extra point. Now,
got nothing to do with me.
So whenever you're ready to come on and flex your masculinity, we got the platform for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I see that they rocking with you today, so we thank you for coming on. Tasha, God, I want Torrance to get a chance to think.
I don't like the way you said my name,
Tasha. Given the fact that Rodgers is playing well, that one of the biggest gripes that we had about the whole Steelers regime, the last post-Big Ben era, was the quarterback play and the lack of consistency there. Now that they got that, what does another one-and-done playoff run do for Tomlin this year?
See, TT, I'm gonna tell you this.
Tell him.
Him and Mike bullied me. They talk.
No, hold on. Be careful. Don't do this in front of company.
I know I'm gonna do it. They talk so weird about me because I always root for Mike Tomlin, and this is the first season that I let the peer pressure get to me, and I gave up on old boy. Now it's always Lamar Jackson. And remember when I went on y'all show and I put in there ABOB and y'all was like, y'all didn't know what that was. And that's everybody on here knows that's always bet on black. I'm gonna always root for Lamar. I'm gonna always root for Love. I'm gonna always root for Penix. And any black head coach, I'm gonna root for them for their success. But look, Tomlin gonna have to do something. Now, I love him. I love everything he stands for. He's a good coach. We know he's going to the Hall of Fame. But bruh, you can, and I say this about anybody, you can't keep living off of that one ring.
Y'all starting to look like the Cowboys talking about days of glory. But go ahead, T-Double. What happens if you have a one and done with Rodgers under center?
I'm answering that question. That means you're rooting for Mike McDonald down there in Miami? Because he's a brother too. So if he didn't know that.
Now, coach imitation of life.
No.
Look,
Torrance, no.
Torrance, now coach imitation of life is a little bit.
No.
You got an ounce, you one of us, apparently. That's how they used to say. That's what they are.
If you show her cheese,
coach imitation of life ain't standing up. They don't even respect that man. So I don't know about him.
Thank you, Tasha. I was nervous about that one. T, no.
You know where I was gonna go.
Yes, that's why I'm trying to stop you. No.
So you're proud of me.
All right. So the question is, if they don't, if it's a one-on,
yes, that question. What question was? Yeah,
let's go back to that. See, I'm there. The answer is absolutely nothing.
Oh no, now, we got a problem.
Now, here's the situation. Now, everybody outside can have a problem whatsoever, but everybody inside does not have a problem. Yes, Steelers are about Super Bowls. But if you're a history of a Steelers fan, there was years that wasn't. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong here. And I want Mike Tomlin to be successful. And you're right, you can't live off one Super Bowl ring, but there's coaches who in the Hall of Fame who ain't got nothing. There are coaches who have tried to do anything. Hold on now. Before you ask the question, you want to open the funnel.
I'm just reacting non-verbally.
All right. So you're saying, okay, man, they finally got a quarterback because you're living off the days of people seeing the days that he made the playoffs with people you had no idea that they could even make the playoffs with. That's what you're saying. So, but then you also remember there are days that they had Ben Roethlisberger in Jacksonville scored 48 points or 47 points on them. And he still couldn't win the game.
Loaded. Jalen Ramsey was out of his mind on that team.
He out of his mind now, hell.
Yeah, but look at
that corner though. That man can still get there on the.
So the thing is, okay, if Rodgers get into the playoffs and then the defense gives up 50 points, is that Rodgers' fault? Is that you know what I'm saying? So you can't do that.
About the coach.
So I'm going back to that. What shoes? First. You can talk about my coach. You got less than one time to talk about my coach. Not even one. You got less than one time.
Go hands around his neck and shake hard.
But what I'm saying is, as a Steeler fan and yes, he has to win a playoff game. Yes, he needs to win one. But that's not enough for us. If we win, this is not the Cowboys. If we win one, we want to win the Super Bowl.
Excuse you?
You heard it. We don't want to hear that we hadn't done such and be happy that they win one playoff game and get to the next round. If we win one, we want to win the ring. So that's not going to satisfy us at all. So you
mean if?
Excuse me?
You said when we win one, you mean if.
I don't ever put if on my team. There's no if. I always put win.
Janet Jackson.
Well, the last time I saw her was at the Super Bowl and she's popping her shirt. I was actually there that time. But my point is, did you see the Areola? Dude, listen, I got them good tickets. I didn't even know that's what it was. I didn't know that's what it was until I saw it on TV. What you talking about? But what I'm saying is this. Yes, he has to win. He has to win. But if he doesn't, he still made the playoffs. He's still a Hall of Fame coach, and he's going to. And the final thing that we're going to say about this: Pittsburgh don't fire coaches. In your lifetime, how many head coaches have you had?
Drop the mic on that one because obviously, when Tasha is like, you got to win one. You got to win one. Torrance. It's just.
I think he got to win one, Torrance.
Yeah,
I think he do because what's the likelihood of them extending Rodgers' contract because he got a 1-year deal, right?
Yes. So here's my question, and that's made a point. If Tasha he wins the game, is that satisfying? Is that satisfying to the coach? Is that satisfying to the organization? No, that's not what it's about.
It'll get him 30 more years.
If he don't win, he'll get 30 more years. That's what
and that's a problem.
Years out of him.
Right. That's a problem. Now, Langston is a Cowboys fan. Good morning, Langston. And shouts out to the Fireburst. I saw that 49-0. We have a Cowboys fan that's still saying F Dak when he's leading the league in every passing
Langston,
category.
it ain't no clanger slander. I keep telling you that.
Like, this is PTSD from being a Cowboys fan. Like, we finally got a little something rolling. We got the best wide receiver combo in the entire league. You look confused.
No, I don't. Go ahead. I don't disagree with that, but go on.
Oh, okay. All right, because I'm ready to box. You know, when we start talking about them Cowboys, my nervous system gets a little tense. Let me digress. Last this or that with your team. TJ Watt or Michael Parsons?
TJ Watt.
Sasha?
You already know where I'm going with that. You already know.
But is that based on film or is that based on film?
Both. D, all of the above. Now this ain't taking nothing away from TJ Watt.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, because TJ Watt is the epitome. But this season, the way that the steel curtain, that defense is playing, they open ass with cotton stuck on the hair.
Hold on. The question wasn't this season. He asked the question, one or the other. There's a difference in what he just asked.
You're right. If you're talking career and achievements, but the thing is even though as great as TJ Watt is, I always thought he got the extra credit because he was JJ's little brother. I always thought that. But he is a proven star. But TJ has benefited from having other great defensive pieces around him. Micah has had to do more with less.
Here's the definition of this. If you look at the record of with TJ Watt when the Steelers played without, what they look like. And when you look at the record without Micah or with Micah, the Cowboys still garbage. Hold on. They garbage both ways.
Overall physicalness, overall talent, overall what I like to see. And I love to see Micah get to the side, get to the quarterback, and wreck somebody's offense. I like it. Now, but this is no slander against TJ Watt.
I think it is.
Like I said, I'm always on ABOB regardless. TJ Watt is a hell of a player, but I'd like to see Micah play better than I like to watch TJ Watt, because TJ Watt, back in the day, you had a Minka Fitzpatrick. You had all these other people that allowed you to do you. Micah ain't had that.
Tasha, you could have just left it at ABOB. If that's your choice, yes. Listen. Let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. I have no issue. I have no issue with Parsons. I think he's a great player. I don't agree that I don't have an issue with him. What I'm going to say is I'm going with Watt, not because I'm a Steelers fan, because I'm looking
at so too. I think both the two things can be true. She's ABOB and you being a Steelers
fan. But look, this is the funny part about it. Ask whose defense I got on my fantasy teams on both of them.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up, Tasha. I wasn't gonna bring it up.
It's the 49ers and the Steelers defense every year if I can get them.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. Let's talk about those 39ers for a quick second, shall we?
Let's do that.
It's always the motherfucker who team ain't doing shit that got a slander.
We'll see if your fantasy football team defense can stop Dak and the boys. They'll be out there in a couple of weeks. I don't even think y'all gonna beat the Titans. But let me ask. Let's start with this. That's Jesus on line one. You put on that line.
This is my boy Corey, guys. Say hi to Corey.
What up, Corey? Now, see, instead of FaceTiming, you should be watching the show.
I'll call you back.
Torrance, let me ask you this.
Please.
Should Mac Jones, who's slated to start this weekend against the Texans, should he keep the job even when Brock Purdy is cleared to play?
No. Yeah, we've discussed this years ago. You don't lose your job because of injury. You lose your job because of performance. I get
on line one, Torrance.
Yeah, but that's Tom Brady. So you saying Mac Jones is Tom Brady? There's a difference.
I'm saying he ain't Tom Brady.
Okay, then there's a difference in that conversation.
He did come from New England.
But my point is this: they this offense makes anybody look good as a quarterback, and they can take them anywhere. So it's the offense. It's not to do. Even Purdy, it's the offense. And I'm never going to take anything from the 49ers. I want to make sure I said that correct, Josh. No offense to this one. I'll talk about you in the next show. But what I'm going to say, what I'm going to say now is no. But Purdy is for this offense. And all Mac Jones is showing Purdy right now other weapons that he can use when he gets into play. That's all it is showing. That's it.
Tasha, you agree with that?
Yeah. I'm gonna put Purdy in because I don't know why Purdy keeps continuing to get this slander when he got in it. Like he said, it's the system. He got in the system. He did what needed to be done. He's gotten us through the playoffs. He's gotten us to the Super Bowl. And I don't care what nobody says. Has his arm not been hanging off the bone like this thing here, I think they would have beat the Eagles in that championship game. We was down to our 8th string quarterback who was McCaffrey. Mac Jones is playing like I didn't expect him to play, which is I see why they didn't draft him coming out of Alabama. But who's to say if they would have drafted him at that spot, he would have been this player? I think sometimes you have to go through adversity to realize what you can really do. But I'm not gonna ever put no damn Mac and a Jones in front of Brock Purdy. I like everything that Brock Purdy does. I like everything that Brock Purdy gives us. Brock Purdy is always my fantasy quarterback, and when he is healthy, he still gives me some points.
Didn't Jimmy Garoppolo take the 49ers to a Super Bowl?
We ain't talking about trash because we
But
saw.
So you can be a trash quarterback and get your San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl.
What did TT say? It's about the system.
So why upset the apple cart?
But
if
you don't.
Mac Jones is playing
but you don't
well in
need
the system?
to upset the apple cart when the other apple you got in the cart is a better quarterback.
What's y'all record this year? 5-2, right? 6-2.
I'm
asking you, what's your record?
Where you going with this?
Just answer the question. No. Y'all got 2 losses, right?
Where you going with this?
Torrance, can somebody look it up real quick? Somebody in the chat.
No, I know what the record is. I want to know where you're going with this before you make me go off.
Where you going? Like I'm just asking, Torrance. Can you look it up for me real quick?
Don't put me in the middle of this. I'm trying to say
We are 5-2, but where you going with this, sir?
You're 5-2, 0-2 with Brock. That's all I'm saying. So
Brock runs the system better, and I trust him more than Mac Jones. I'm not taking out and plus we done played you.
He had 3 interceptions against the 49ers.
Taking out my signed number 1 QB for a backup. I'm not doing that.
Now Langston says, and I want to highlight this because this goes to an earlier point that I made about a month ago. He says we still talk about Micah. He's doing what he normally does. Sacks early. Just wait till November through January. Remember on this show, Torrance, I don't know if you was watching it live, but I said during this whole trade thing when everybody was like, rah, your co-host, the lady who's going to pick you up from my house in a few minutes so you can do your own show right after this, I'll take. He finally got what he deserved. I told y'all we wouldn't hear a peep out of his ass after he left Dallas because nobody's going to care no more. And what does this person say? Why are we still talking about Micah? It just proves my point. And Farrah,
what do I brought him up?
Popcorn down. Huh?
You the one about Micah up, not us.
I have a Steeler on the set. So we're going to talk Pittsburgh. That's what we do with company. I'm going to ask the company what you want to watch.
Now you talking about that defense. What Jerry going to do about Max Crosby? I heard a little something.
We got that in the works. We're going to go and bring them on over. We're going to go ahead and bring over White.
Why would you leave Vegas for Dallas to do the same thing and not win a Super Bowl? What would be the point? What's the purpose? If you're already losing and making $100 million, why would you go somewhere else to lose to make $100 million? I don't really understand. It's already this scenario. You comfortable, stay home. That ain't going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Does Vegas have state tax?
What's her name? Serious. Can you tell me how many playoff wins the Cowboys have since 2016?
Tell me you ain't got an iPhone without telling me you ain't got an iPhone because you called it serious.
It's serious. Serious? How many playoff games has the Cowboys won since 2016?
Phone. You just tell me how many Cowboys Super Bowls have they won since 1995.
You
How many
don't
Super Bowls
answer
have they played in
my
since
question.
1995?
What I'm saying is,
Tell me that. You want to talk about talk about we know in playoffs. How many Super Bowls have the Cowboys even played in since 1995?
you know, oh, you mean the last Super Bowl they won was against who?
Pittsburgh.
Let's keep rolling.
But
Now,
we won two
love
since the
it.
last time
I
y'all showed
love
up.
it.
We
what?
won two since the last time y'all showed up.
That's because Cowboys wasn't there. If we was there, wouldn't have been no smoke.
You made the point because you can't get there. Don't matter.
Well, come on over to the NFC. You ain't gonna be there either.
You want to say the NFC this year? You want to look at this? Yes, sir.
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna leave that alone.
TT. Because
I'm
when
gonna leave that alone.
TT, when I get him this same argument, they pile on me like some
Well,
shit with
Tasha, your
pies
Super
on it.
Bowl winning drought is longer than both of ours.
But
So
we've
you
been
just
there.
gonna- you just
But
gonna
we've
put your
been
skates
there.
on.
Y'all can't. Neither one of your teams can get there. You got two, and neither one of them can get there.
So now you getting participation trophies for a team that's supposed to be built
But
on
you
championship
brought it up.
pedigree.
See, TT. Now you see what I go through, TT.
No,
See how
man,
he
you see what
brings
I
up
go
them,
through.
and
Yeah,
then
we
he
gonna
wants
argue in front of
to flip
company.
around. He wants
We
flip
gonna argue in front of
around
company.
when we start talking slanders about his ass teams.
Farrah, we gonna drag you into this because this is all your fault. You brought us all together, and now we all arguing.
We got the arguing.
We out here arguing, and Farrah, you the connective tissue to all of us.
Sitting at home making apples.
Right, licking your apples and laughing at my pain. Don't do that. That's why I left the Titans off the rundown. So Langston says he's averaging less than a sack and just 4.5 tackles during those months. It's Serious Styles. Serious. Tell me when's the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl? That's what I really want to know. I digress. All right. Y'all, man, we got to.
This comes from a man who got 18 teams, and out of the 18, ain't none of them even sniffed the playoffs.
Yeah, that was low.
Viable candidate.
That's low.
Ain't
that's
been
low.
Ain't been to the big dance. Ain't did nothing.
Farrah, I apologize in advance.
But he want a gun bump.
Damn it! Let me apologize. I apologize.
Okay.
Farrah,
okay.
right. If I didn't care. Farrah, I apologize for sending Torrance to you late. But they started arguing with me over football. Why would you do that? I am football. Don't you see the pointed head?
I saw that, TT. If I didn't. That's not the Spike Lee in school days.
Now look, it's which let's play one more game of this or that. Which CJ Stroud do you believe? The rookie season or the one we've seen the last 24 games look like hot ass?
The one at Ohio State. The one
it couldn't beat Michigan.
He can't beat nobody right now.
I ain't gonna see him in no playoff.
But what I'm going to say now is the one that I saw rookie season when he had talent around him, he had people healthy, and he had an offensive line. That we
put 48 on his head that year.
He showed us what he could do in Houston when he has talent around and an offensive line. Right now, he can't show it. Listen, I'm living proof, and I bring it back to college. I have a great quarterback in college football right now, but because we got an offensive line, they have a 0.1 second to throw a ball. If you can't protect them, you can't do anything. I don't care who you are, and that's what Stroud is doing. So I'm not going to compare the two right now because we can.
Yes, you are, because that's the question before you.
But I said the one before because he has what he can be. We can see the early season. We can see what he is versus what we can't see that now.
Tasha.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with TT because even with Larry Tunsil jumping off sides every fucking snap, he
got Tourette's.
He was still, blocking, and he was giving him that time because he was still running for his damn life. But now it's like, help me.
Like, I thought you was gonna say it. I'm glad you didn't. All right. I think he's toast. I think it was way to go, Tasha. I was picking up what you was putting down right there. I know he said that in the huddle, real quick. Like, I think he's toast. But we'll leave that there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the NBA is back, and it's back with a vengeance. It's back. First thing I want to ask you, Torrance. Let me ask Tasha because I don't know if you watched it yet. So let me ask Tasha. I know Tasha watched it. Tasha. Not only is the NBA back, but so is the NBA on NBC. What did you think about the NBC's coverage Thursday night, Wednesday night, Tuesday night, whenever it was?
Look, as much as I love Vince Carter, I don't like that pregame show. It was a bit of a drag, and I love Maria Taylor. Shouts out to the lovely sister Maria Taylor for getting her hosting gig on. I'm not sure about the commentators either. You know, Mike Tirico, the Italian stallion, as Bomani Jones calls him, he's gonna do his thing.
Wasn't a big fan. Okay, that's fair enough. What about you, Torrance? I know you watched it. You were on live when the first game started, so I know you caught a little bit of it. You caught Carmelo in the BMF suit, tracksuit.
Why was he on there and the only one not dressed professionally? But I mean, I guess Carmelo, you get what you get.
Well, I think it's too much too soon. You got too many things and too many people. It'll get better as it narrows down and we can see what it's going to be. It's just too many people. Carmelo's going to be Carmelo, of course. That's what he was wearing. Where everybody else was wearing suits. That's what they were doing. I think they got too many people. There ain't nothing wrong with that. With all this gambling stuff, apparently ain't nothing wrong with that in the NBA.
Touche.
So, but you know, it's just too many things. And then y'all may not speak on it, but that sit down with Michael Jordan, I'm expecting more than him just sit there talking like that. Why you have a whole segment if you're gonna be sitting? Well, I rented somebody's house and I had to shoot free throw. So I don't know.
Is that all he's there for? Is that all he's gonna do at halftime?
No, that was your that choice. LeBron would have been way more captivating. LeBron is more captivating, not saying a word. You saw him just sitting there with his glasses on. Everybody was just mesmerized.
Oh, selling Hennessy and shit.
Fighting with Stephen A. Smith for no reason. Oh, for garbage. I don't need all that. We don't need all that. Sit down somewhere.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to just say this quick blurb and then we're going to get to my 5 burning questions. I am happy to see the NBA back on NBC because I'm happy to see some adults back in the room. I agree with Tasha's point that there was, and your point as well, that it was a lot going on. It was a lot of people. Let's pare that down. I could see where Jamal Crawford and Reggie Miller, who's used to calling games, is like, slow down, bro. We got to work off each other. Reggie couldn't get a word in edgewise in that Rockets game. Reggie was like, "Nah, I'm finna slap you." Like, he just kind of just bowed out. I think at one point he just started standing up and watching the game. I think that will get better. I think it was probably nerves on Jamal's part. Jamal did a great job. But I'm happy to have some adults back in the room. ESPN, to your point, Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins. Perkins said on a
I hate him
yesterday. He told the lady, "You don't need an ibuprofen. All you need to do is pop a perk." Like trying to do a play on words. That was just so
earlier they don't. If you didn't watch it earlier, she had made a reference to that, so that's why he came back with it.
Right, but I'm just saying that's unprofessional and reckless. One of my biggest, and I've complained about this in previous shows, but one of my biggest gripes with the NBA is this coverage and how it's so visceral towards the players. You will never see an NFL pregame show where James Brown is openly beefing with Lamar Jackson, telling the world on the platform that the sport is paying you to cover. I don't like Josh Allen. I can't stand Patrick Mahomes. I got dirt on him. You really want me to go there, Patrick? I'm like, in that kind of dynamic where you're trying to be the main character. You're paid to cover the athletes, not be the main character. And I think ESPN has done a horrendous job of that the last
main character energy gets the viewership, and that's what it's the shock value.
For social media,
Howard Stern made a career off of being a shock jock.
But for sports fans, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't care about your personal. I don't care if Chris Berman didn't personally like Steve McNair. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Give me your analysis of what you saw on the tape. Like this beefing and stuff, and you using these athletes to draw attention to your own platform. I just think that's bush league.
The only question I have for that, then, do you watch Inside the NBA? Because that's exactly what they are. That's what they do.
Oh, I'm talking about Shaq and Chuck too.
I love that dynamic because they have personal stories that I can relate to, they can understand, versus the Stephen A. versus LeBron. I can't see that, but I can see a Shaq versus why they could be hatred.
Right, Lex is right. Mess sells, but you're angry, you're bitter, you're like, come on, y'all. Like Shaq and Chuck, like that day is gone. Like it's over.
That's what old dudes
will never be $1.99 again.
Listen, that's what old dudes got to be old and bitter. That's what we do. We live our life and we got to be bitter about other stuff. That's what we do. We get old and bitter.
Let's be old and better. Let's not be that generation. All right, 5 burning questions, and we're gonna burn through these real quick. One, you up first, Torrance. No team is repeated as champion since the 2017-18 KD Warriors. Will the OKC Thunder be the one to break that streak this year? You taking OKC or the field?
The field.
Tasha?
I'll take the field too. Even though I like how OKC's looking. I mean, they've been to 2 back-to-back double overtime games.
Yeah. Been some phenomenal games. Yeah.
And still been able to pull it out. And it would have been over earlier had, because we saw KD, and ain't gonna be no KD slander. Pull a Chris Webber, but the ref
that should have been. So Ball didn't lie in that one because he did call a timeout when they didn't have no timeout.
But yeah, I'm taking the field.
And on the other side of that, they shouldn't have been a double overtime against Indiana. Indiana got me and my mom and a couple other players. They should have no reason.
Right.
They should have been in double overtime with them.
And if Tyrese didn't go sprawling to the floor in Game 7, the opening minutes of Game 7, who knows if they're even repeat champions, even chance to repeat. All right, number 2, second burning question. LeBron missed his first opener in his 23-year career. Is this his last dance, Torrance?
Yes, this is it. He's not going to wait for his other son to not graduate college and go pro and put him on the team.
Don't do that. Don't say it like that.
Say it like that, even though that's what I was thinking.
My fault.
Why you say it like that?
Graduate college.
That's not cool.
So, listen, the sons have done a step that daddy didn't do. They went to college at least. Daddy ain't never went to college. So they
can buy a college.
They improved on what their daddy did. I bet that's the only thing they're going to probably improve on. But again, this is it for him. I think this is shut it down after this year.
Tasha, do you agree? This is his last dance?
Well, no, because LeBron is just that damn petty, and that my answer solely depends on whether or not Bryce is a one and done. Now, I haven't, Arizona hasn't played, but they're saying pretty good things about him, and they're saying Bryce is better than Bronny. And if Bronny, came out basically, he had the heart issue, basically played what would be considered one season and wasn't very good. And if Bryce is even better, Bryce is going to come out. So I think he's going to, even if he doesn't play, he's not going to retire until Bryce gets in the league.
They couldn't even just say no without slander. Like this.
It's not no slander. We all know LeBron is petty and LeBron be lying, but I love LeBron. And Savannah. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. If I don't like nothing else about that man, if I don't like nothing else about that man, I sure loves me some Vanna.
Number 3, Victor Wembanyama, y'all. Did y'all see him Wednesday night against the Mavs? 41, 15, 3, and 3. Did you see when he brought Derek Lively to the top of the key, gave him a jab step, put the ball behind his back, through the legs, another jab step, and the James Harden step back with the 3 and the and 1? Did anybody see that play, or was it just me?
I saw it. Did you see what he did last night? He still put up another 30 or 40 last night. 35 and something last night. You pay attention?
And about 5 or 6 more blocks. Can he be the next face of the league, Torrance?
Next?
I'm going to say this. Yes, if he stays healthy. That's all. I can't say that. If he stays healthy, because we thought that dude in New Orleans was going to be the next face, and the dude can't stay healthy. If you stay healthy, the answer is yes.
No, it's not the fact that he can't stay healthy. He can't put them damn beignets down.
Who?
Fat ass. You know what I'm talking about.
No, we're going to talk about that in just a second. And first of all, slow your roll. Langston, E2 Brute, talking about some hope they don't buy a college. This charter school is failing. Just a jab. Y'all, look, when the fans came in and put the padlocks, when he was talking about Cole Red, told Cole Red take the chains off the door, Dion got put up out of Prosper, Texas with his charter school. I ain't had none of y'all talking about some just a jab.
But the Torrance
was a whole criminal.
Healthy. Me and our young Padawan Brandon had this discussion, and I said if he stays healthy, he's gonna be unstoppable.
Is he marketable though? Langston says no.
The answer is yes, but the problem is he's in San Antonio. But that's the same thing we have with Tim Duncan. The Tim Duncan problem in San Antonio, but he was marketable and he did exactly what he did.
Personality-wise, I think they're
but
similar.
Tim Duncan was also not about that, Torrance. He was. And that's my grandmother's favorite player. My grandmother loved the San Antonio Spurs. He didn't want that. He just wanted to go out there and play ball.
Okay. Well, let's go to my 4th one, because this one here, I watched every second of this game. It was the opening night, and Zion versus Ja on opening night. They put on performances that was befitting a number 1 overall pick versus a number 2 overall pick. I believe Ja had 35 and 7 in 25 minutes. No less. Zion had 27 and 9, could have been more. But he really got a foul whistle in that game. As a Grizzlies fan, I can't admit he got a foul whistle. Ja had an offseason of no drama, did his world tour with Nike, selling his shoes, and was over in the Philippines. And so he seems like he's back a more mature Ja. Zion dropped about 40, 50 pounds. And when I tell you,
it's going to be back.
How explosive he was going to that back. They couldn't do nothing with him, T.
He did that the last few seasons too. Start off and then he put the big names back in his mouth. And that etouffee and all that. It ain't crawfish season yet, so I said what I said.
T. Now, hold on, T. I'm gonna take a stop right now, and I mean this. Then when he turn around and show up with a white woman, Tasha gonna be mad.
He got enough problems because all he do is wife up and have babies with porn stars.
T, who plays more games this year, Ja or Zion?
First, I'm gonna shout out both of them because they're from South Carolina. So they're both up from the crib. So represent that both. But who plays more games? Oh, health wise, Ja, unless he pull out another gun. And
I can't no limited Ja.
So health wise, Ja will play. Yeah, so I'm gonna say Ja as long as he's more mature. But I love what Zion has done, lost the weight and become more explosive and healthy. But let's see, it's like developing a new body. What can he do with this new body? We got to figure that out.
Problems with her reconstructed body this season.
So
Caitlin Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that was to her detriment.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like to Torrance, like sometimes when you recompose your body, it can do some weird things during the course of a season. Memphis corrupts the youth. Ja got to leave Memphis. Well, not with them fans down there, not with them federales. I heard them YNs. This is in the house playing video games.
That's probably why Ja done settled down. He was like, shit, they here now.
Right. Ski mask.
The Dracos ain't make no appearances at the local gas station no more.
Y'all, why did I see a Instagram post that said giving a YN a haircut and dude was lining up a shiesty? Dude had on a shiesty. He was lining up.
Oh my God. I'm done.
All right. So you say Ja if he's healthy. Got you. All right. Number 5. Is this the last we've seen Chauncey Billups associated with the NBA?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. This is one of the ones. Even if he's not guilty, by the time they clear all this up, it's over. It's good. We move past. He'd probably be a high school coach or somewhere a recruiter.
Associated with the NBA. Well, yeah.
She don't care. She was like, I don't care about Chauncey Billups. That's what happened.
Remember when she was trying to joke on my internet earlier?
I'm not going there with you. I'm gonna play neutral.
God like ugly T.
And she gonna come back at me. No,
I'm God like ugly
T. Nope.
So picking up where we left off.
Yeah. She don't care. She was like, I don't care about Chauncey Billups.
Is he done? Is he? He's done. Chauncey's done.
Chauncey Billups. But what I find hard to believe, I don't know what you said before, because this island Wi-Fi got to acting a fool. I find it hard to believe that he was the mastermind, because they talking about X-ray glasses, contacts, and see-through cards, and
you a whole criminal.
And then why is it that they are going after the players if it's mob driven? Is the DOJ scared of the mob?
I saw their names listed in one publication.
We already know it's always the same 5 families. The same 5 families have been running shit since before we were born. So if y'all know it's the mob or the mafia, mafioso, La Cosa Nostra, if that's the problem, why y'all ain't going after them? They these is bottom feeders y'all going to get.
And that's
a lot to unpack there too. Go ahead, jump in, Torrance.
That's the first time I actually listened to Gilbert Arenas. Whoever said it's like, listen, whoever it was like, y'all talking mob, but only showing black faces on TV. What is that about? These black people ain't in the mob, not the names of the family you just named. Why are the black faces right here, but you ain't got none of them in front of the camera? Why are they handcuffing them out there? Why you ain't got none of them watching bailing themselves out? Have we seen any of that?
If you're like Chauncey Billups, one can only assume or guess to make that he has the type of money and the type of lawyer or law firm representing him that would allow you to turn yourself in. OJ was standing over a bloody woman, and they still gonna let him turn himself in.
Look, I ain't seen the Genovese family. I ain't seen the Gambinos. What's the other family? The Luchis family. I don't know the other three.
They always kind of move on up.
The other two, like you said, they not showing them. We all know if anything dealing with the mob, that's what it is, and no one is holding them accountable. And then what's his name? He put his whole house up. They didn't even let that man get out on bond. He had like a $10 million bond. Like, what did he do? He had to put his house up just to make bond. They lowered his bond, put his house up, surrendered his passport, just like Chauncey had to do, surrendered his passport. It's bigger fish. And these, do they really expect these little fish to snitch or turn over on these? Because if the mob is powerful enough to make you do this, this is your livelihood. If these mob families are big enough and powerful enough to make you risk everything for them, what makes them think they're gonna turn on them? And it's just like it goes, what's the is it Eastern Michigan University? It was a couple of players that they pulled in to try to get some information about gambling. They turned over their phones and they told them, "No, bro, you erase all that," because no one's going to cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to what Torrance said initially. By the time they unwind and unravel all of this, it's going to be too long, too much. Like, he's untouchable in the league now. Whenever the name gambling gets associated with you and you're in a coach position or you're in a position to give intimate details to a betting or bettor, or somebody got you in their pocket, like, oh yeah, Scoot Henderson ain't playing tonight, or yeah, I think we're going to rest such and such on the second night of a back-to-back, like stuff that can affect playing line. I just think that he's done.
Because he's proven to be untrustworthy. Because first they were saying, oh, it was the card deals, like, with Gilbert Arenas. It was the illegal poker games because you getting ducks in there. And somebody said it was one of those players that got was Kevin Garnett.
And good, because he talk a lot of crap about people. And
like, damn, everybody steal from him, his advisors, his wife. You need to choose some better people to hang around, KG.
What you say, Mama there, P there?
But
I just got some.
But I do agree with you when it comes to a coaching aspect. You know who to pull, who to put in. Like that meme I sent you, and they was like, he had this person guarding LeBron in the fourth quarter.
He's done. Like Chauncey's done. Now, real quick, I just got this sent to me from Yahoo Sports, and shouts out to Drew Merriman for sending this to me. I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on it real quick. It says reps, and y'all see kind of like what we got here. Reps for Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian have let NFL front officers know that he is open to making a move back to the league for a team like the Titans that are in need of a head coach, per Diana Rossini, who's a Titans insider. Your thoughts on that real quick, P?
First, why would the Titans want him? Number two, Texans can pay him more money. Number three, unless they hear something, he hearing something, he may not be there, and he trying to make that run out. I don't have any thoughts about that. I would stay where I am. Texas is a big program, and you can find it. No offense, but you can get a different job than Tennessee that gives you a better chance to not have to build, but to win quicker.
Ain't but 32 of them. Now. T just said, Mama there, P there, but Steve ain't gonna be there. Tasha, what are your thoughts on that?
I ain't got no thoughts on that because, look, like Torrance just said, you got a better opportunity in Texas. Texas has more money. I would not be interested in you. Basically, you even though I think Texas is just kind of like down right now, you basically gonna be going from sugar to shit. And who wants to deal with all that extra added stress of the
Ladies and gentlemen, while we close off this show, I just wanted to ask this question of them because they opened this show telling me that you ain't got a long window in the college football either at these big programs.
But you ain't. But the Texas, but the Titans is not a job that, unless you just want to get your feet wet, you gonna take that job. Just so you can
only
say
32 of them. How many? It's a lot of college jobs.
Just so you can say I got some NFL experience, you can put that on there. But quick side note, back to what we were saying about the game. I'm not trying to get you off, but I thought about this too. Y'all see how they just let Shohei just smooth on out, and we know that nigga. We know he was guilty.
Well, that goes back to what I said about the NBA and its coverage. The NBA coverage, the people who cover the NBA don't protect the players like the NFL does and like the Major League Baseball media does their league, their brand. We like it is the NBA has turned into I don't even follow these accounts, so I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Shade Room. It's just a shade room, bunch of millionaires. It's just a shade room. And the people who cover the NBA are like shade room account people. They just post who's baby mama, and we know all kind of stuff about basketball players that we never know about any.
All I know is they gave Shohei a pass because my translator did this. I don't care if it's $20. I'm gonna know something is missing.
Well, look at the Brett Favre situation. Nobody like the NFL didn't just hammer that thing home like
that. The welfare queen. They keep trying to sweep that up under the rug, and then he wants to sue people for calling him out for what it is. You stole welfare funds.
Right, and to the bigger point, the people who are paid by the league to cover them protect them in those stories, and the NBA does not. Torrance, we got some pick 5 for you today. You're in on this. Let's start. Missouri Vanderbilt. I got the Commodores. We're gonna anchor all the way down. Who you got, Torrance?
I'm going Vandy at home.
All right, Tasha.
I'm gonna go Vandy. Shouts out to our good brother Jamie Winborn. Was in the hospital a few days ago, but he's doing good. I talked to him. So anchor down in honor of Jamie.
All right, we got Ole Miss versus OU. It's gonna be a good one. Offense versus defense. I'm gonna take the defense of the Sooners.
I'm going with Ole Miss.
Ooh.
It's his last hit. I mean, it's his last days in Mississippi before he go to Florida. He gonna win the game and get on out of there.
Oh my God! This is is the OU quarterback. What the hang looking like?
He ain't got it back. He worked hard against Texas and they ran the ball against South Carolina, so he ain't back yet. He may be just getting healthy now.
Well, I got a little crush on Lane Kiffin, so I'm oh no! Stop the damn presses, OU.
Okay.
I got
an hour to get to that conclusion.
But I got blinded by that little man crush I got. But I can't never choose Old Piss.
But he don't pass no paper bag test. But I'm gonna keep it moving. TAMU versus LSU. I'm going with the Fighting Cadets.
I'm going with LSU. 20-1 in night games against ranked teams. 21-1. Go with LSU.
I'm gonna steal that when I'm gonna use that on your show. I'm gonna put that in the comments on your show. Coming up next, Tasha.
I just remember when you said Reveille had fleas, and I'll never forget that. I don't know how one Mr. Marcel Reed, like Torrance said, it's something about playing in Death Valley at night. I don't know, but again, I keep choosing with my heart this year, and I'm losing bad in our lineup, but I gotta go for Marcel Reed.
So you taking Texas A&M over the Fighting Ingrats? Okay. San Francisco versus Houston. I got the 49ers and Mac Jones all day long.
Me too. No question.
D'Amico, you out of here, buddy. And last but not least, the irresistible force versus the immovable object. The Dallas Cowboys offense versus the Denver Broncos defense. Dak is back. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, we them boys all day.
I'm going for Denver because Denver's offense is better than Dallas's defense.
That's what I was going to say. Denver has offense and defense.
I didn't ask no why. Just make the pick and keep it moving.
Oh my!
I just did. I said that. See, there you go. Right. There you go. Where's the spoon? They get so expensive.
Where's the spoon? Tasha, who you shouting out today?
I got a shout out, guys. It's I got 3 shots out, but I'm gonna start with the dreary one first. The love of my life, my grandmother. This was the day that she passed. That was hold on. My lovely grandmother. That was us when Sasha was little. That's my grandmother back in the day. My grandmother passed in 2014. So, just sending little kisses up to heaven for my girl. My niece's birthday is tomorrow. Bria will be 15. And I got 2 other shots out. Actually one. Shouts out to Pharaoh. Y'all know I bragged on about them good taffy apples, hun, Brandy be down there making. But Farrah checked on me because of all the storms with the Melissa down here. She checked on me to make sure I was good. And I told her I was good because luckily we live on the North Coast. So shouts out to Farrah for that. And that's it.
Torrance, T-Dub, who you shouting out today?
I live around the corner and Trey don't even check on me. So I'm going to tell you that's so I ain't shout her out at all. But no, I will shout out my auntie. She's in the hospital having a heart situation. One of the older aunties, I will make sure she's okay, keep an eye on them and everything other than that. And shout out to y'all for letting me have this opportunity to sit around with these legends here and just to speak my mind. And that's all I can say about that, though.
This has been fun, and I want to give a shout out to Farrah too for allowing us to run over without like jumping in the comments like you taking too long. So thank you for that. Shout out to T-Dub coming through and blessing us with some awesome sports takes. You're only a guest once, now you family. So when the link show up, we expect you to show up. All right, that's just how that works. And we'll promise next time we will have you off and in plenty of time to like do a number 2 or drink some coffee before your next show. I want to give a couple of Lexi said, shout out to Cam going ham and bam.
Did y'all see him beating up the damn
Cam, see, that's some more ESPN buffoonery. Brothers on ESPN.
What is wrong with him?
I want to give another shout out to my mom who's celebrating her 21st birthday today, AP Coulter, who's saying go blue. Happy birthday. My Uncle Joe has a birthday next Saturday. We will show next Friday, actually. We won't be on the show, Halloween. My Uncle Joe would always say, I'm born on Halloween because you never know if I'll trick you or treat you. And he's been a treat for us our entire lives.
This year, Halloween fell on a weekend.
Right. Me and Ghetto was a trick or treating. And so, Torrance, let the people here know how they can find you on your other platform.
I don't even know. I just look for the pretty face. But on the truth is, we're everywhere. You can find us. Look for Our Take. We're on every platform. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, everything. Look for the Our Take logo. We're here. Look for the pretty face. Look for the Carolina who's going to beat Alabama. We shut that out today. Y'all didn't hear it first, right here, when we beat Alabama today. So look at that face you give me. So please, we're coming on right after this. Whenever I get off this, you get to see this again.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the hall thing, like in high school when they go boop, and then you got like a few minutes to get to your next class. Y'all got a few minutes.
Get that line.
Go take a number 2, wipe your ass, and then meet us back on this same platform for Our Take. HOURTAKE. Like, subscribe, follow. We'll see y'all. AP Culture, take us out. Tasha, take us out because we got little brother tonight.
Vamos Azul and shouts out to the 6, baby. The GTA, baby.
Go Blue. We love you more. We'll see y'all next week. Go Blue. Beat Sparty. Let's go. Who y'all play again, Torrance?
Alabama.
I said Alabama.